The Galactic Council had seen it all before. Another primitive species clawing their way to the stars, drunk on their first taste of faster-than-light travel, stumbling into the cosmic community with wide eyes and trembling hands. The humans were no different, or so the assembled representatives believed, as they watched the Terran delegation file into the Grand Chamber. Ambassador Chen Wei stood at the podium flanked by her diplomatic team, scientists, economists, linguists. Standard fare for first contact protocols. The Zephyrians, with their crystalline bodies that chimed softly when they moved, barely registered interest. The Calthek Empire's representative, a towering insectoid creature, clicked dismissively. Even the peaceful Moran collective, known for their empathy, seemed to regard the humans with polite but distant curiosity. Honored Council, Ambassador Chen began, her voice carrying clearly through the translation matrix. Earth formally requests membership in the Galactic Council and protection under the Non-Aggression Accord. A ripple of what passed for laughter among various species echoed through the chamber. The Calthek representative, General Vorthak, leaned forward on his 6 legs. Protection? From what, little ones? Your world has no strategic value, no rare resources, no advanced technology. What could you possibly offer? And what could you possibly fear? Before Chen could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Emergency lights bathed the chamber in harsh red as the Council's defense coordinator, a Zephyrian named Harmonics of War, materialized at the center of the room through their quantum projection technology. Council members, we have a situation. A Ravager fleet has emerged from dark space, a full warpack, 30 vessels. They're heading directly for the station. The chamber erupted in panic. The Ravagers were the boogeyman of civilized space, a nomadic species that had turned warfare into an art form. They consumed entire worlds, enslaving populations and stripping planets bare. No single species had ever successfully resisted them alone. How long until they arrive? Demanded the Miran representative, their telepathic voice carrying undertones of genuine fear. 18 standard hours, Harmonics of War replied. Our combined fleets cannot reach us in time. General Vorthak's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation. Then we evacuate. The station is lost. Wait. Ambassador Chen's voice cut through the chaos with startling calm. How many beings are on this station? 43,000, came the reply. Chen turned to her aide, a young woman who had remained silent throughout the proceedings. Lieutenant Morrison, send the signal. The aide, no, the officer, stepped forward with a bearing that suddenly seemed less diplomatic and more military. She activated a communication device with practiced efficiency. Terra Command, this is Raven's Nest. Authentication code 77 Alpha Whiskey. We have a code black situation. Request immediate deployment of Prometheus package. The council members stared in confusion as the human replied with crisp military precision. Copy Raven's Nest, Prometheus packages go. ETA 14 hours. Hold position. General Vorthak's compound eyes focused on the humans with new interest. What is this Prometheus package? Ambassador Chen's diplomatic smile never wavered, but something harder flickered behind her eyes. General, let me properly introduce my team. This is not Lieutenant Morrison of our diplomatic corps. This is Colonel Sarah Morrison, 82nd Orbital Drop Division, Terran Marine Corps. She has 17 combat drops and 4 planetary campaigns to her credit. She gestured to another member of their delegation. Dr. James Harrison, our chief xenobiologist, is also Master Sergeant Harrison, Special Operations. He spent 8 years fighting in the Titan Rebellion. The atmosphere in the chamber shifted as the humans shed their diplomatic personas like old coats. Colonel Morrison's stance was now unmistakably military, her eyes scanning the room with tactical awareness. Dr. Harrison's gentle scientist demeanor had been replaced by the coiled alertness of a predator. You see, Chen continued, Earth has a unique approach to diplomacy. We believe that peace is best maintained by those who understand the true cost of war. Our entire diplomatic corps consists of military veterans, men and women who have seen combat, who have lost friends, who know exactly what they're fighting to preserve. The Zephyrian coordinator chimed urgently. The Ravagers have increased speed. 16 hours now. Still plenty of time, Morrison said calmly. She activated her communicator again. All Terran vessels in system, this is actual. Convergence protocol is now in effect. Begin deployment. High above the station, space began to shimmer. One by one, ships decloaked. Not the small diplomatic courier that had brought the human delegation, but warships. Sleek, predatory vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Impossible, breathed General Vorthak. Our sensors detected nothing. Dr. Harrison, Master Sergeant Harrison, smiled grimly. Stealth technology developed during the Proxima Wars. We've been watching this system for 3 months, ever since our scouts detected Ravager activity in the Outer Rim. More ships appeared, materializing from quantum concealment fields. Within an hour, a full battle group surrounded the station. 12 heavy cruisers, 30 destroyers, and something the Council had never seen before. Massive, angular vessels bristling with weapons. Dreadnoughts, Morrison explained, noting their stares. We built them after we learned what the Ravagers did to the Helios colony. Ambassador Chen stepped forward again, but now the Council could see what they had missed before. The slight limp from an old wound, the faint scars on her hands, the way her eyes never stopped moving, always alert. Council members, Earth requests permission to defend this station. You would fight for us? The Miran representative asked, genuine surprise coloring their telepathic voice. We have just met. You owe us nothing. Chen's smile was sad and fierce at the same time. Honorable Miran, we are veterans. We know that freedom isn't free and peace isn't a given. We've buried too many friends to stand by and watch innocents die when we have the power to help. The Ravager fleet dropped out of hyperspace 14 hours later, expecting to find a helpless space station and 43,000 potential slaves. Instead, they found the Terran Third Fleet waiting for them, commanded by Admiral Elizabeth Kane, a woman who had earned her rank in the brutal campaigns of the Martian Independence War. The battle lasted 47 minutes. When it was over, the Ravager warpack was scattered debris drifting in the void, and the galaxy had learned something new about humanity. They weren't just another species stumbling into space. They were warriors who chose to be diplomats, soldiers who fought for peace, veterans who understood that sometimes the only way to protect what you love is to be willing to destroy what threatens it. The Galactic Council voted unanimously to grant Earth membership with full honors, but more importantly, they established the Veterans Doctrine, the principle that those who had served in war were often the best guardians of peace. As Admiral Kane later said in her famous address to the Council, "We are not warmongers, we are gardeners. But every good gardener knows that sometimes you have to kill the weeds to protect the flowers." Earth's veterans had found their place among the stars, and the galaxy was safer for it.